Hey, welcome back, lawn lovers. BW here. Hey, let's see if we can get some of this dead grass out of here. It's May 8th today, and I'm giving my 2017 Midnight Kentucky Bluegrass renovation a good power raking. For this job, I'm just using my real mower with the Scarifying attachment on it. It has a lot of these soft springy-like things on it that rake out the dead grass and do very little damage to the live grass. If you don't have one of these, you could just use a hand dethatching rake or rent a power rake from your local hardware store. Sometimes those are called verticutters. Verticutters and power rakes are harder on the live grass than a hand rake or Scarifier, so use those only in the spring or fall when the lawn can recover quickly. If you have a perennial ryegrass or a tall fescue lawn, you can also overseed it after raking. The overseeding will help thicken up the lawn again. If you rake and overseed in the fall, you won't have to worry about your spring crabgrass pre-emergent killing your grass seed. My Kentucky Bluegrass lawn will thicken up on its own. Midnight Kentucky Bluegrass is very slow to green up in the spring, and you can also still see some evidence of snow mold. But as the weather gets warmer, the Midnight will recover and thicken up quickly. Here you can also see how much dead grass is left over from last summer. Hey, there's my last two renovations from 2018 and 2019. Midnight Kentucky Bluegrass is by far the densest Kentucky Bluegrass cultivar I've ever grown. This is always the thickest grass in my lawn. Unfortunately, because it is so thick, it can really benefit from a good raking in the spring to remove the excess amount of dead grass. Scarifying or power raking can also remove moss as it improves water, air, and nutrient penetration. It can even encourage spreading grasses like Kentucky Bluegrass to spread and grow. I'm not using the catcher right now because the catcher would fill up so fast that I'd just be running back and forth to the bin all the time. It's hard for me to believe that this little hill behind my garage used to be so hard to grow grass on. It used to be the worst grass in my entire lawn. Here's what it looked like in April 2016, before I planted the Midnight Kentucky Bluegrass. You can see some of the old patches I made in a useless attempt to fill in bare spots and remove some invasive tall fescue. This area used to really burn up in the summer. The soil here used to be very hard, and I had a heck of a time keeping it watered, but the fescue seemed to like it here. Ever since I planted the Midnight Kentucky Bluegrass here, it doesn't require any more water than the rest of the lawn. It seems like the dense Midnight Kentucky Bluegrass first helps the water to penetrate the soil, and then helps to prevent it from escaping again. The soil even seems softer when walking on it. I have a nagging suspicion that by the time I finish experimenting with all these new bluegrass cultivars in my recent renovations, I'm going to end up thinking that I should have just used Midnight Kentucky Bluegrass in all the sunny areas of my lawn. On the other hand, maybe Mazama or Blue Bank Kentucky Bluegrass will be just as nice without having to dethatch every year. I guess I'll find out in another year or two. After a couple of passes, I'll just blow the dead grass over into a pile that I can pick up quickly with a plastic snow shovel. You may remember seeing me do this in my video titled, Even Easier Lawn Renovation Part 2. I could have also gone over it with my mower and its bagger, but that would have been a lot of trips too. Now that I've removed the bulk of the dead grass, I'll use the catcher to clean up a little bit. I won't have to make as many trips to the bin now, and the Scarifier will leave a nice clean finish on the lawn, and the stripes will look pretty good too. You may not need to Scarify or power rake your lawn every year, but if you have a very thick Kentucky Bluegrass lawn that produces a lot of dead grass over the winter, it may benefit from a good power raking in the spring. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell next to it so you don't miss any new videos. And remember, you can do it.